got used to this hair.
Okay.
Ah,
Welcome, everyone. Good evening. Good evening to Date Affirm the Real. I am Kia McLean,
and I am Shymika Arnold.
and we are going to be talking about releasing expectations, right?
Jace May.
And so, uh, if you're going to be tuning in this evening, so this is what we're going to be asking. I'm going to say this throughout the evening, so I know that people will be popping in and out. So as you pop in and out, we want you to use the hashtag expectations. Use the hashtag expectations. So I'm going to type it in the comment section now so you guys know this is our hashtag for the night. And that is the hashtag that you can use.
That
Okay?
we can use.
All right. So we are going to be talking about releasing expectations. Okay. And
Yes.
so as I thought about this, Shamika, about us having this discussion, what I really came up with was some questions about the conversation surrounding expectations, right? Because
Awesome. Awesome.
so many of us have expectations, right?
Right.
And I think that there's nothing wrong with expectations. I think the problem comes in for expectations when it affects you. So here's my question. I'll just go to my question. The first question: are your
Mm-hmm.
expectations preventing partnership?
Mm, that's
So that's the
good.
question. Are your expectations preventing partnership?
I love it.
So let's start there and then we'll kind of go through. I have some other questions laid out here, but I wanted to start there. Like, do you feel like people in general today, and just keep in mind, you all, as we have this conversation, if especially if this is your first time here, that we are never attacking anyone. We are very open. We are open to your comments. We are open to conversation and dialogue about it. So if you want to jump in, please feel free to leave your comments. But also, eat the fish and throw the bones away. So whatever's applicable
That's
for you, take it
yes.
in. If it's not, release
Yes.
it, let it flow. But again, are your expectations preventing partnership?
Yes.
And so, do you think that people
Good.
today are working from maybe childhood traumas or childhood things that happen, and then they're creating these expectations because they didn't have it as a kid, or maybe because they missed it in the last couple of relationships, or they saw their friend or another family member have this kind of relationship, and so they said, these are all my expectations and I'm not going to do anything differently. This is it. So, like, what are your thoughts on that? Especially from the mental health aspect, what do you think about people having so many expectations that it prevents partnership for them?
Well, I think we have many unrealistic expectations. I think we place ourselves on this unrealistic expectations. Like I'm supposed to meet this goal at this age, at this time. I'm gonna have kids at this age, at this time,
Mm-hmm.
and and it's unrealistic. Everybody has unrealistic expectations. So if you have unrealistic expectations for yourself, then how much more so will you have one for a partner?
True.
Yeah.
True.
So I find that that yeah, people place themselves and more stress. It provides more stress and more judgment of yourself.
Ooh, that's good.
Like it's like it's like a form of, to me it's like a form of self-sabotage, right?
Mm.
So I'm going to put myself on this expectation. I'm going to put this expectation all the way up here, and if I don't make it, see, it proves that I'm not good enough. It proves that I'm no good. It proves that I don't deserve whatever it is I don't deserve. So yeah. So self-sabotage. We tend to do that. You're making those unrealistic expectations.
That's good. I had to jot that down. It was that good of some nuggets. It's a form of
All
self
right. Oh, good. We starting
sabotage.
off early with good nuggets. Yay.
Huh? What you say?
I said we starting off with good nuggets. Yay.
Yes. Starting off with the good nuggets. As the poet, I'm gonna snap it
Yay.
up.
Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Yay.
So you said it's a form of self sabotage,
Hmm.
and you're judging yourself. It is a form of judging yourself. Wow. I mean, I want to kind of take,
And how often do we do that?
yeah, I want to take, that's why I
How
want to stop there.
often,
I want to pause there and take it in.
man?
Because how often are we self sabotaging? So let's think about this. Let's think about a person who has this, you know, complete list, front and back piece of paper with expectations, right? And they tend to become the victim in a situation like that, right? Because
Right.
they start thinking like nobody's good enough or I'm not good enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think like that, I wanted to use that example for the listeners to understand like that's just one example of how you can start to self-sabotage. That's how you can start to judge
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Hey, these people aren't good enough for me, and or I'm not good enough for
Yeah.
these people.
Right.
Therefore, I'm going to judge them or I'm going to judge me, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so then you become looped into this cycle, this continued cycle of, you know, there's something wrong with them or me, and then you become in the cycle of victim blaming.
And yes. So if you and then here's the thing: if you can blame somebody else, then you're no longer the issue,
Yeah.
right? You don't have to work on it because it's really them, right? They don't have. They not wearing the newest. They got. They have, right?
Yeah.
And it's like because now the blame is on them instead of you working on you
Mm-hmm.
too. So you get to point the finger.
Yeah, I'm taking notes because I want to be able to when we wrap it up at the end, I want to be able to come together with, you know, these nuggets that are getting dropped early in our session
Mm-hmm.
here. And so basically, we've come up with the fact that if you have this extremely long list of expectations, you are
Mm-hmm.
eventually going to start self sabotaging. You are going to judge yourself and others, and then you will become a victim um, when it's all said and done. So, if the expectations that you have lead you to self sabotage, judgment, and being a victim, we might want to really kind of spend some time talking about this because
Mm-hmm.
it might be you.
Hmm.
It might be you. Uh, I remember
Typically, it is us.
typically
Typically,
it's us, right?
typically.
I remember some years ago, someone told me that, you know, they had this, you know, I expect this out of a woman. I expect that out of a woman. I expect, you know, this was a man who was, I would say, really in his masculine energy, but doing too much. Okay. Bec-
And was it really masculine? Is it
well,
really masculine? But
right.
okay, okay.
I'm,
Nope.
I'm
I'll
just
change the
using
subject.
that for
Okay.
a lack of other words. Okay.
Got you. I'm with you. I'm with
So
you.
I'm being
I'm
polite.
right here. I'm right
I'm
here.
being polite.
Okay. I'm right here. I'm right
So
here.
you telling me that, you know, you're the man and I should do this and the woman need to do it like this and the woman need to do it like that, and she don't do it like this, she don't believe how I believe, she don't go my way, and I'm just like,
She don't have her own identity.
I'm like, look,
She don't. If she don't have her own identity, huh?
you can have it be whatever
Mm-hmm.
you want it to be, but you need to understand that all of these expectations that you want another person to come and meet for you, this woman gotta
Meet your
to
needs.
meet all of your
Meet your
needs, right?
needs.
So
Mm-hmm.
she is supposed to come and then just go according to what it is that works for you, right? She's not supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be her own individual. She's not supposed to have her own ways of thinking or doing. She needs to
Mm,
succumb to your way. And I was
mm,
like, that's really interesting, you know. And this was a person that was a very timeline driven person. This thing needs to happen at this time, and this thing needs to happen at that time. This
stress.
the stress you putting on yourself, right? And
Stress.
but it's
And who's time? Like,
that's
why are we trying to
tiring.
race?
It's first of all,
And what's the benefit of
I
that?
am one
What's
of
the
those
benefit of
people,
racing time?
and you are too, cousin. We move in ease, right? I move in
Hmm.
ease. I don't want to have to be in a complicated relationship where in 2 months this happens, in 4 months that
Next.
happens, in 9 months
Next.
that happens. I don't want to do that.
Hmm.
I don't want to do that. That's not at it's first of all, it's not in ease, which means
Hmm.
it's not, what's the word I'm looking for?
It doesn't flow.
It's not just flowing, right? I just need
Hmm.
I just need it to flow. I don't need to feel
Hmm.
like I'm forcing anything. I don't want you to feel like you're
Yes.
forcing anything. We
Yes.
want things to just flow. But if
Hmm.
you're telling me everything is timeline driven for you, if you're telling me that a woman needs to do this and a woman needs to do that and a woman, it just doesn't work for me. And so now
Hmm.
you've put all of these expectations on you. And now I'm going to go right back to these nuggets you dropped in the first 60 seconds of this live showing out, dropping bombs and ish,
You dropped the
dropping
bomb
bombs,
on me,
baby.
babe. Okay.
You dropped the bomb on me. And you did. Okay, okay. I digress. But
Okay. Focus. Stay
these
focused.
bombs you dropped were the question I asked when we started it off was, are your expectations preventing partnership? You came off the rip and said, form of self-sabotage leads to judgment and victim blaming. So with this person who said everything has to be timeline driven, everything needs to be like this, and all of that is forced for me. It doesn't seem real.
Hmm.
It doesn't seem authentic, right?
Hmm.
And so,
That's what Tara said. It's not realistic. Right.
yes,
I
it's
can see
not
that.
realistic. Like,
Yeah.
cut it out because you're putting all this stress on
Hmm.
yourself. And if you meet a person, you partner with a person that is not in touch with themselves, they'll try to dance to the beat of your drum
I
rather
love that.
rather than trying
I
to
love
see
that.
this doesn't work for me. It's not
I
going to work
love
for me.
that. There's a scenario, an analogy. This is how relationship works. So you're driving in your car, and then you be like, oh, I like you, and they driving in their car, right? And then you're like, you know what? I'm gonna get out of my car. I'm gonna get into your car, right? And they try to get in their car. They be like, oh, okay, I don't fit. So I'm gonna cut my leg off so that way I can fit in your car. Okay. Oh, okay, I still don't fit. You know what? Let me cut my arm off so I can get in your car and fit in your car. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, okay. Okay, now I fit. Now I fit in your life, in your car, in your reality, what you want. So I've cut off me. I've cut off parts of me. I've released parts of me because I want to meet your expectations.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we do that a lot in relationships. We do that a lot in meeting other people's expectations. Like when you first meet somebody, it's like, well, somebody said, like, somebody asked them, they were on a date, and the guy asked them, well, what do you want in a man? And they said, was that you? And they said, I'm not telling you, I'm not gonna
Hmm.
give you notes on what I want in a man. Like, I'm not giving you notes. Just be you. It's like, just be you, and let me see if this is what I want.
Exactly. I'm not
You
giving
know,
you the blueprint.
there it is. I like that.
I'm
I'm not
not
giving you the
giving you the
blueprint of what I
blueprint.
want. You're not going, and that only lasts for so long because they can't follow the blueprint because they just doing it whatever for whatever gain they need, whatever gain it
Exactly.
is. They can only do it temporarily because you're going to show up eventually. Your representative is going to be gone, and you're going to eventually show up.
Hmm.
And somebody also told me that a person will tell you who they are in the first 15 minutes of the 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes in the conversation.
Exactly.
And what we tend to do is, I remember, I don't know if I shared this, I did share this before, when this guy said, some people call me an asshole. And I was like, you're not an asshole. Oh my God. And guess what he was? Exactly what he said he was. Silly me, silly rabbit.
Yeah,
Because I was like, no, that's not who you are.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
And
that's an example of how expectations can also work the opposite way, right? Because let's say, for instance, that the person, like in that instance, that person told you he was an asshole, right? What do women typically do?
I can fix
I
you.
can fix him.
I can make
I
you
can
better.
change
You don't have to
him.
be an
You
asshole.
don't have to be
I
an
can change
asshole
you.
because I'm soft and I'm
I'll
gonna
love you so
yes, I'm
much.
gonna give you all this
I'll
feminine
love you into
energy.
being.
Ah, I can
Ah,
change
what
you.
did Marcus say? Date smaller men.
What is that about, babe? But
Man.
I mean, it can go the other way because a lot of times that is what happens. A woman feels like she can
Yes.
change this man who said he was an asshole, and you might like certain things about him, and you're like, but no, I can change you. I'm going to be soft with
My
you.
love. Because love can
Look here.
conquer all.
We ain't,
Because stupid songs be telling us that love conquers all. What is that song?
we're not
I got a
changing
song in my head.
nobody.
I'm not gonna sing it. I'm not gonna not no more. Not no
We're
more.
not doing that.
I don't not no more. You know, and but that's the same, even that's the same thing, is because when we do that, we again try to fit ourselves to accommodate this
Mm-hmm.
person's whatever, because we're still again doing this thing where we're stepping outside of ourselves to accommodate this person because we want this person. So whatever they said they are, whatever said they have, whatever things that, whatever red flags we see, we dismiss the red flags because we can change them. We want them in our life. And if I do what he needs me to do, again, if I cut myself off and accommodate them, then it'll work. And they'll no longer, they won't be an asshole to me. They won't be. So the hope is that they won't, like, I can change them. Again, it's still the hope that I can change them by cutting off parts of me
Yeah.
to do so.
Yeah. And so that leads me into my next question, which is what are the benefits to your expectations? Right? Because even when we start to create these things called expectations, when do we think about, okay, well, what is the benefit to me creating this or these sets of expectations?
I love it. I love it. I love it.
What's the benefit?
Right. We have to ask ourselves.
We have to ask ourselves.
And am I meeting that expectation? They gotta have good credit. They gotta have they gotta have they gotta. Well,
Mm,
do I have that? Well, do I have that? Am I that?
mm. I think you just dropped another nugget. I think you just dropped another nugget.
Marcus said, cut off all limbs and legs to fit in the car. Date a smaller man. It would be date a bigger man, Marcus. You have to date a bigger man with a bigger car. That's why little men get big cars.
That part. True, true. So you said, because we're gonna go back to the nugget you dropped. So my question was, what are the benefits to your expectations? You said, and do you like you have to ask the question, right? So let's start there. You have to ask the question. And then do you offer? Do you have? Do you possess? Is that your energy? Is that what you are doing right now? Like, is it contradictory to who you are? You want things that are contradictory to who you are. Do you want the things that you are? Do you match that energy that you're looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Is your
That you're looking
credit
for,
score
yes.
good? Is
Right.
your
Do
money?
you know your credit
Yeah.
score?
What's your money look like? And
Right.
and I think oftentimes we do have expectations of others that we may not
That we
possess,
can't. Mm-hmm.
and I think we need to be honest about that, and we need to like own that, like really sit with that. I may have an expectation as a woman or a man for the opposite sex or the same sex, whoever it is that you're partnering with. I may have an expectation for you to pay all my bills, okay? Take care of me and my kids,
Mm-hmm.
my mama, my grandmama, my cousin, my sister, my brother. I might have all of these expectations, but I'm not even taking care of me. I'm
Right.
not even doing the
But
very
that's,
bare minimum.
and where do we get that from? And where do we get that from? We got that from the unrealistic concept of the man takes care of the household, a Western culture belief.
Mm-hmm.
The man takes care of the household and the woman stays at home with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas culturally, actually, the women and the men had jobs that, before Western culture did whatever. Um, everybody had their
Rose.
role and their
Mm-hmm.
place, right? And so we had the hunters and the gatherers. We had the women would go out and gather, and the men would hunt. So it was, but we all had our jobs. We all had our roles, and we worked together as partners.
Mm-hmm.
And therein lies that unrealistic belief that doesn't even work. It doesn't even
Yeah.
work, especially for now. I don't even think it worked then. I think people just didn't say anything then. But it really don't work now
Yeah.
financially. It really doesn't work, and it puts a lot more strain on men to be like, I gotta
Mm-hmm.
right? Instead of us coming together as a partner, and we're getting them, and we're um, working this load together, right? Working this load together. Even if I get a part-time job, like, or we alternate, like, we just work it out.
Yeah.
It has to work for you. It has to work for you. So we get this unrealistic expectation because that's what society continues to tell us,
Mm-hmm.
right? Society tells us that this is how it's supposed to be, and so we believe that.
And we refuse sometimes to think on our own, right? Right?
Ooh,
Like, I'm just gonna say it, and
yes.
it's gonna
We
stir some
following
people.
the.
It's gonna stir some people.
Go ahead,
But
stir it.
we tend to not think for ourselves. We tend to
Yes,
go with what other people are
the
doing.
crowd,
We tend to say, "Oh, well, they doing it, so I need to do it." Well, my mama did it like
because
this.
we afraid of what? Because we afraid
Judgment.
of what? Judgment and being disliked.
Yes.
Where's that book? Courage to
Right.
dislike. Yeah.
What's the book I'm reading?
We don't want people to. We don't look people. We don't want people to think we're weird. We
Yep.
don't want people to think we're too different. We don't. For
For what?
who paying your?
Why?
Because nobody's paying my. They're not paying my bill.
Yeah.
But you know what? But you know what though? That's the concept of keeping us in our place though,
It is.
because that's the masses. The masses. She said, "You cracking ribs right now." That's how, because the thing is that because you got the group right, you got the all the people following this one concept, right, of what a relationship should be, how marriages should go, right? Somebody does it different over here. And what does the group do? They criticize them, bash, they you're not following the group, you're out of. And so what it does is so then now you want to adjust because now the masses are now, keeping you in line. Basically, they're keeping you in line. I was watching something and it was like, women's circumcisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this other country. And at children, like young age, they were getting circumcised. I didn't realize how many different levels of the circumcision was for women, that they not only cut the clitoris, like they cut off the whole, anyway. And so and even the pain, and they would die, like someone would die because there was no medic, like this was torture. This was
Mm-hmm.
basically torture to children, to little girls. But if they didn't get it, everybody at school be like, she's uncircumcised.
Mm.
All the kids would know, the community would know that this child was not circumcised. And so the community would what is that called when you push them away, like
Ostracized.
isolate them, ostracize them, isolate them,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of push their hand to do it,
Yeah.
right? So they can be back in the community,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And that's the same thing with expectations. We create these expectations sometimes also because of what society says how it's supposed to be, and not what's going to be best for us.
Yes.
Okay, did I bring that around?
You
Did I bring
did.
that
You
around? Did I go?
you
I did
brought it.
ADH a little bit, and I
You
brought it
brought it
right back
all the
around.
way around. I was literally about to hit on that. We on the same page.
I
Day,
did
baby.
it. I did it.
Hey,
The
this
ADHD be
this
like,
is as
shoot,
much
but
as I
not
can
be
move
coming
right
back
now, but
down.
I'm gonna move it, baby. I'm gonna move it. Yes, hunty. That's it. Like, I think, like, at the end of the day, most of our expectations don't even come from us. That's what I just put in the comments. The masses follow the massa. And whoever your massa may be, the massa can be your parents, the massa can be your
Hmm.
friends, the massa can be social media, the massa can be anybody. The massa is the
Yeah, it
person.
could be your best friend. It could be your
Exactly.
friend.
But when you decide that my expectations are going to come out of what I see other people doing and what I see other people believing and what I see other people saying
Yes.
and what I see other people, there is no, you don't have the opportunity to really sit with yourself to decide
Mm-hmm.
what you really want, what's good for you. And in order for you to, I believe, my personal belief,
Yes.
I believe in order for you to say what you expect from somebody else, you have to have within you first. You must have
Yes.
it within you. I can't say
Yes.
that I want you to come and have all your stuff together and I lack self love. I lack self
Hmm.
accountability. I lack self awareness. How dare I tell you all these things you need to have when I don't even
Right.
know who I am?
And on top of that, now and then I want you to make me happy. I can't even make myself happy. How am I gonna put that on somebody's shoulders to make me happy? How? How, Sway? How?
I can't even say nothing on that. Look, you showing up and showing out now. I don't know what's going on, but it's a lot of showing out going on tonight. It's a lot of showing out. I see what happened. I was down for a minute. I had to take a
Rested.
little
We
break.
rested. We
I'm
rest.
healing up still, and here you come back and like full. Listen here, y'all. I thought I was ready last week. I was like, okay, we gonna do this thing, Shamika. We gonna go live. It didn't work out that way. I had to lay back down. But
He's
she
like, no.
ready this week, boy. She is dropping all the nuggets. I'm talking about diamond nuggets. You ain't even getting them gold nuggets. You getting the diamond nuggets. Man, look. I told y'all, type in the comments. Hey, what's the hashtag for tonight? Expectations. If you
Expectations.
listening and this is a good word and you loving the diamonds being dropped, put in the comment section hashtag expectations. Okay, so now we're going to we talked about the benefits. The initial question was, are your expectations preventing partnership? Let's talk about what the disadvantages may be. What are the disadvantages to your expectations? I think we kind of hit on some of those where you talked about, well, the disadvantages are you end up self sabotaging and you end up
Mm-hmm.
judging and you end up becoming the victim or victim blaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for that, Tara. Thank you for the hashtag expectations. We
Yay.
know you here and you listening and receiving. Okay,
Yay.
so we understand that those are some disadvantages of it, right? And
Right.
so one of the other things that I thought about in terms of disadvantages is you you find yourself in this constant loop. You're just in this continual loop of nobody's meeting my expectations. I just don't understand it. And
Self pity.
that's self-pity. Self-pity.
Oh, woe is
I'm writing
me.
that down
There's no
too.
good men out here. There's no
Oh,
good men
that's
out
where I was
here. I
going.
knew it.
We is on the
I knew there was no good
same
men.
damn page tonight. If you don't cut it out, if you let me take a drink of water. You showing out. You're showing out. You're showing out.
No good men. I told you guys there was no good
There's
men.
no good men.
I
It's
I didn't I needed an 800 credit score. I needed to have an 800 credit score. I needed to have a house in the hills. No kids because I want no baby mama drama, but he got to be
I'm
40
finna go
and
there,
not have
cousin.
no
I'm
kids.
finna go there.
Uh-huh.
I'm finna go there. You ready? You ready for me to go there?
Go ahead, go ahead.
He need to be 6'5", chocolate. He need to have flat abs. He need to have
I don't have
he need to have all his hair on his head.
all of it.
He need to have at least 8 inches. He need to have a 5,000 square foot house. He need to drive a Lamborghini. Okay,
No.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now I'm gonna ask you. No harm intended. I need you to look at your bank account. I need you to now look at your body. I
Your
need you to look
abs.
at, and I'm not being funny. I'm
For
not
real,
being funny.
seriously.
What we have to
Seriously.
understand is we oftentimes want
Yes.
things that we don't even possess. I've heard women say, I don't
They
want
don't even
this because I'm that. Okay, but what if we can both be that? What if we can
right.
both be healthy in state of
And
mind?
that's what if that's and what if that was the what if again the concept of oops, sorry, my dog hitting the thing on my dog hit the cord. Even the concept of how we gotta look is again the masses. Like what if health being healthy has nothing to do with a six pack? Because I've seen people
Mm-hmm.
running every day and they still have heart
Yeah,
attacks and die.
yeah.
And they have a healthy routine, healthy whatever routine whatever physical routine. I don't know about their emotional
Yep.
or mental, but their physical routine is healthy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So even the expectation of a six pack and abs and stuff is also unrealistic.
Well, I think the other part to that also that I thought about immediately when I hear people talk about somebody's body and the size of their body and the things about their body, what I think about is at the forefront of your expectations is a person's body when I'm thinking about their mental health. I'm thinking about their
Man,
emotional,
emotional.
their
If their heart
spiritual.
has to, oh, somebody
Where is
mentioned,
your
oh, somebody
heart,
said
baby?
your heart's capacity to
Your
love, your heart's capacity for
didn't we just
me,
talk about that? We
your
just,
heart's capacity.
your heart's
I
we
capacity
get caught up.
to even
Go ahead, go ahead. Your heart.
oh I was
Go ahead.
I was I was going with you like your heart's capacity to even like even hold the
Yep.
relationship, even have the relationship, right? Even have a healthy relationship. Your heart's capacity to even love yourself.
Yep.
Because if you don't love yourself, you can't love me.
Exactly. Marcus said light skin and a belly is better. Okay, babe.
That's me. Is he talking about that's me too? That's me.
but
Got a little choo choo.
but so here ultimately though, I mean, I hear you saying that. I hear you saying that, babe. But really, in all honesty, and it's all jokes and everything. But I think ultimately, and I've always been like this. I've never really kind of got caught up in you need to have this as your body, you need to look like this, you need to. I've dated all types of different people. I think for me, I don't know, it was just something I always kind of understood that I wanted someone that was just a good person. You know,
Yes.
I didn't at that point, I didn't even think about the whole your emotional health, your mental health, your
Right.
spiritual health. But I at least knew I
Yes.
wanted a good person. Like I wasn't
Right.
interested in the person that was just so fine. That was not what I was
Right.
looking for. Tara said a
Right.
healthy person wants a healthy person. A fiscally
Yes.
responsible person wants the same. If y'all don't stop
Yes.
preaching to hashtag
Yes.
expectations, because Tara
Patience.
just dropped,
Yes.
she just dropped it in
Yes.
my spirit.
Yes.
All in my
Yes. Oh,
spirit.
deep
All in
down.
my
Deep down.
spirit.
Won't he do it? Won't he
Won't
do
it will?
it?
Look, she couldn't have said it
Yes.
no better. And I spelled it wrong. Pardon me.
Man.
She couldn't have said it any better.
Yes.
A healthy
Yes.
person wants a healthy
Yes.
person. A fiscally
Yes.
responsible person wants a
Wants to say.
fiscally responsible person.
Yes.
An emotionally mature person wants an emotionally mature person. Good God.
Yes.
Won't you come on,
Yes.
somebody? Look here. I don't see hashtag expectations all up and down these comments because jewels, diamonds are being dropped in the room. Okay.
Yes,
Listen,
yes,
your expectations could be
yes.
the very thing that is blocking your person.
Hmm.
It could be
Yeah.
the very thing blocking your person. You could be coming with the energy of your expectations.
Hmm.
Your energy say, I want you to have a Lamborghini. Your energy could be
Mm-hmm.
saying, I want you to have a six pack. Your energy
Right.
could very well be saying that, and people are turning the other way. They're
Mm.
captivated by your outward beauty or your outward handsomeness or sexiness, but they feel the energy of your expectations that they can't meet. And
Yes.
so I think that, man, that y'all killing it. Y'all killing it. What about the expectations where people are like, and this is tied into what we said earlier, but I'm getting very specific now. So
Mm-hmm.
what about the woman who says to a man, I I'm 33. I would like to have kids by the time I'm 34. So if you want to move forward with me, then we need to be married in 3 months. I need to be having babies by this time. This needs to be happening. Like, I'm so let me,
That's
as
funny.
I say that, let me also hit the other side of the coin because I don't want to be one sided on this.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm with you and we've been together for 4 years and there's been no talk of going to the next level, if that's something I'm interested in, right? Because not
Mm-hmm.
everybody is
Mm-hmm.
looking for marriage. Not everybody's looking for the same things. But if we
Right.
had
Right. Right.
if we had a discussion in the beginning that the ultimate thing was to get to
Goal.
marriage, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We 4 years in, we still dating.
Mm-hmm.
Then yes, my expectation is that, hey, in this amount of time, I'm expecting for us to move to the next level, or I'm going to have to move differently. I'm not talking
Right.
about
Right.
that.
Right.
I'm talking
Right.
about the people who have everything down to the I need to have kids by the time I'm this age, and you need to do this. I need to be
Mm-hmm.
married by the time I'm this age and in this space, and you need to do that. I'm talking about I want this amount of money, and you need to go out and work and do it and give me that money. So, like those types of personal expectations, when someone gives that to you, when somebody's telling you that, or I'm the man and you the woman and you need to cook me dinner every day. Like
Mm-hmm.
these are things that you have to pay attention to that people say early on, right? Would you agree with that?
I definitely agree. I definitely agree.
But I think we miss it a lot, right?
I think we ignore it. I think we ignore
We
it. I
ignore
think
it.
we, or I think we believe that we can do all. I think we think we sometimes superwoman. I'm not your superwoman. I think we can go to work, still get our degree, get or go to school, have a career, um, come home, cater to our dude that just came from work too, that came from work too, cater to him, make sure he's good, wash the clothes, wash the kids' clothes, wash my husband's clothes, come in here, cook, clean, and fix and cook and clean, make all the appointments, and I think that's a lot of stress, and you can't even enjoy the moments with the person that you're choosing to be with.
I saw a TikTok video, um, either I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but the TikTok video talked about this. It was an older lady that had been married for 40 something years, and she says, I want to give you young people a bit of advice about going into partnership with someone for a lifetime. And that is, there is no competition of I do this and I've done it 3 times and you did it once. There is no I do more than you and well, this is only my job and that is your job. However, if I know that your strength is in building a house and my strength is in maintaining the home, I'm going to stay in my strength. That is my power
Yes,
so that our
right.
partnership works. And I
Yeah.
think there's there's so much validity to that because we oftentimes do want to do that, right? We want to say, "Oh, I did this, I did that." And one thing that I love about my relationship now is the fact that we don't have to do that. If he knows I'm not feeling well, he's just going to figure out dinner. I typically cook.
Right.
I typically cook. That's just my thing. I
Because you
enjoy
did.
it.
Yeah, that's what you do.
I
Yeah, yeah.
enjoy
You
it.
love it.
It's my
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. But if I don't feel well, if I don't feel like cooking, I can easily say to him, "Babe, I don't feel like cooking today. I don't know what we're going to do for dinner." He'll say, "I'll
Mm-hmm.
just figure it out. Don't worry about it. I'll just figure it
Mm-hmm.
out." And so, you want a person that's going to be your partner. I don't want a person to
Yes.
dominate me. I
Yeah.
don't want a person, you wouldn't even make it with me trying to
T-
dominate me because I'm not going to try to dominate
and
you.
why would you want
Yeah, I'm
to?
not going to try to dominate
Why
you.
would you want
Don't try to
to?
dominate
Yeah.
me. So that goes back to the example of what that person told me years ago. Like, I don't want to be dominated. That's not a
Yeah.
relationship for me.
Right.
Partnership is what I'm seeking.
Man, teamwork.
Team work. And oftentimes people want to have, they want to have the leadership role and they want to say, "You got to submit to me." Mm,
It's my angry eye. My angry eye when
mm.
they talk about submit.
Like,
I'm like, what?
do you understand that there are strengths? Them eyes.
That's my angry eye. Do you see it? My angry eye. I want
Yes,
to give a shout out to Illa. Illa is on
I
there. Hi,
see.
Illa.
Illa said partner is key. Absolutely.
Yes. We just had a conversation about what you said, somebody dominate. What was it? We were just talking about possession in a relationship.
Yep.
That you're mine, I'm yours, and you do what I say, and you be here, and you call, and you. And it's like, and he was like, I can't even. He said he was like, Ella was like, I can't even comprehend that. I can't even comprehend that. I was like, but you know how many people can?
Right. Right.
It's so many people that's like that. Like you can't. Oh, you going over there again?
Whew.
Oh, you going to hang with your boys again? Oh, you going with your girls again? Oh,
Exactly. Exactly. Illa,
mm,
welcome, welcome, welcome to Data from the Real. We are so glad you made it. Shamika, thank you for inviting her. We appreciate it. And
him.
oh, him. Sorry. And we are asking that you put in the comment section hashtag expectations. Anytime we drop a nugget, anytime you like, "Ooh, yes. Love and possession doesn't equal absolute." Ooh. So we went to a podcast mixer the other day, and one of the questions was, would you let your partner do something, something, right? So, first of all, I have an issue with the whole let your partner do something. Mark is a grown man. He's a
Man,
whole grown man. What do you mean, let
right,
him do something? He can do
right,
whatever he wants to do, right?
right.
Now, if one of the things that I know is I'm not in a relationship with someone that is selfish and that I believe that would hurt me. So there is
Yes.
no need for me to let him do anything. He's a grown man that will move about and do what he feels like he needs to do. And I trust that he will make the best decisions. That's it for me. I don't need to let him do anything, and he doesn't need to let me do anything. The same when I
Right.
say, "Babe, I got this going on, I'm doing this," his response is, "Okay, have fun. You got what you need." Not, "I'm gonna let you go out and hang out with." A couple of months ago, I took a solo trip. I said, "Babe, I need to take a solo trip. I need some time away. I need to just do me." Right? And I plan to do it while you're on your trip for work. So it won't cut into our time. No problem. Enjoy yourself.
But even that right there, would you even that right there, you were making sure like this is like I'm gonna create this space where I can be me, but then I can do me, but then I don't want to do it when you come back home and we get that together time.
Right.
And That's what a partnership is. It's that when I make a decision or when I make a choice to do something, I'm going to make sure that it benefits both of
Mm-hmm.
us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make sure that that's what a partnership is.
Yes.
Whatever choice I make is gonna benefit my partner and me as an individual and as a couple because
Absolutely.
I'm still an individual.
Absolutely. So we're gonna circle back to that, but I want to touch on Tara's comment. Submission is not a
Yes.
requirement, but it is a compliment bestowed upon the partner deserving of it.
Yes.
Those who deserve it
Yes.
never have to ask for it or demand it. That goes to
That's
what I
right.
just said,
That's right.
right? That
That's right.
goes, babe.
That's right.
I can't type fast enough. Type hashtag expectation. Because between Tara and Shamika in here dropping all these damn nuggets and diamonds and jewels, I'm just gonna lose my mind. Listen, that's exactly what I just said. We don't have to even use the word submit. We don't even have to
Man.
use that word because it
Right.
comes naturally for us. See, this is what people don't recognize. It comes naturally. When you are in
Yes.
partnership, I don't need to say, well, I got to go submit to my man. He doesn't have to say, I have to submit to my woman. Those words
Right.
never have to be said. We
Yes.
just do.
Never.
Because what did I say
Yep.
earlier? I trust that he will make the best decision knowing that he's in a partnership with me. I don't have to be
Yes.
concerned with, well, I need to tell him he need to be home by such and such time. He's going out to hang out with his friends. So your curfew is at 12. It's so funny. Yesterday, because y'all know I tell my business every now and then.
Curfew.
So yesterday, he texts me. He says, okay, babe, I'm going to get my hair cut, right? And I was like, just joking, being a baby. And I was like, oh, you're going to be up there for like 4 hours. Because it's also the cigar lounge, right? And so I was like, oh, I'm going to miss you, right? So, but I'm just kidding with him. He said, oh, babe, what time is my curfew? What time would you? Just the fact that he was just considering it because he thought my whiningness that I was playing with was serious. So he said, well, what time would you like me to be home, babe?
I love
right?
that. I
But
love that.
but it was
that.
no, I need you home. I said, babe, I'm just kidding. Stay as long as you need to stay. You going to work and then you going there. Take your time because I realized that that's your woosah.
That's his time.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I need my
Yes.
time because what did you just say? And I just said we're going to circle back to it. We're individuals first.
Yes.
I entered this relationship as me. He entered this relationship as him. Nothing about that changes.
Yes.
Outside of the fact that we are in partnership now, and through that partnership, we have to be respectful.
Yes.
You're right, babe. You did have to bring me home French fries when eventually when you left, you did have to bring me French fries. Yes.
And Illa said, yeah, go get your space because that space is going to get you attacked when you get back.
Okay.
Exactly. That's you. Exactly. It's like, I'm going to let you go do you, and then we're going to get some cuddles and time together,
And I think, when we talk about expectations, I'm glad Illa said that because I want to touch on that just briefly about when you have that time away from your partner, doesn't it feel good when you get back together because you actually missed each other? Like, don't you enjoy that time? Like, okay, I've been gone for all day and then I went and did this. Now when I get home, it's just me and that person and we can enjoy that time together instead of expecting that every single moment we are together.
I gotta be there. We gotta right there. Woo, woo. Oh, you right here. You right here.
It can't be healthy. It can't be healthy.
Right.
But to each his own. If that's how your relationship runs, I don't want to offend anybody.
You have to, yes, and you have to, because you, again, going back to, you have to move what's best for you in your relationship. It has nothing to do, again, we're just saying, identifying things that, like the expectations, unhealthy expectations, but we're not saying you have to be, because that's not the goal. The goal is not, you have to be, but we want you to be healthy.
Yes.
We want you to make healthier choices. We want you to make healthy decisions. And that's why we're here, because we're giving you some extra options to choose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're helping you identify things that you might not even like, that you might want to work on, the things that you might want to choose to do different, and it's up to you to choose that. It's not up to us to say, or anybody to say, you're supposed to be like this and that's how it's supposed to go. It's you making a choice for your life because it's your life, because you are an individual person and your life is your life.
Hashtag expectations. Dropping jewels. Dropping jewels.
You're like a DJ
Dropping
dropping
jewels.
jewels.
Yes. I think I could be a DJ. I think my babe just told me not too long ago that I have that voice. Illa said food comes in all different forms. Yep. So I just lost my thought. What was I gonna say?
That you had that voice.
No, I was gonna say something else, but then I got silly as usual. Okay. Oh. So what I was gonna say is I think that sometimes we have to consider if whether or not we are putting so much stress on ourselves, that we're putting so much stress on other people, and that what do you say oftentimes, Shamika, is we have the control and the power to make a different decision. And even
Yes.
when you said we're only giving you tools, we're only telling you a different way that you can go about it. And I oftentimes share my own issues. And so I'm going to share the fact that one of the expectations that I have, it's a real expectation that I have that I'm working through, is I expect for Marcus to drive over 70 miles per hour when we're on the highway. I expect it. He doesn't. He drives at least 2 to 5 miles under that. Okay? Now, I'm asking for prayers as I share this. Okay? I'm asking for y'all to pull together.
I can picture you pushing your foot over there like, can you go a little faster?
And pray for me, because my expectation is for him to drive at least 70 miles. When the speed, we're going to get pulled over and get a ticket for going too slow on the highway. Okay? That's my expectation. But I'm going to tell y'all how I'm turning it around in my mind. I'm turning it around in my mind because the Lord is working on me and turning it around. You see, he said unrealistic. See, he's serious about this thing. I'm serious. I need all the prayers. Lift me up. Lift me up. Because
when two or more touch and agree, Cheryl.
Hey, I got at least 2 people on here that's going to genuinely pray for me. So here's what I wrote out. I wrote out an affirmation, and I'm going to share it with y'all. I wrote this affirmation out when I knew we was going to talk about expectations. My expectation is for Marcus to drive at least the speed limit or above. However, his expectation is to drive cautiously because he has precious cargo.
I love that. And I got chills.
And that allows
beautiful.
me to sit in the passenger seat and not say a word.
Because you're the jewel, precious jewel.
I'm the precious cargo.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to...
Do you wave? You should wave.
I'm going to start to release the expectation. Release the expectation.
He said I'm a protector. Yes.
He really is.
That's right.
He is a protector.
That's right.
And so
I
y'all think I'm joking. I'm very, very serious, but I literally had to do this. I'm literally having to work through this because he really is trying to protect me. Like,
for real, yeah.
He see me as the precious cargo, and he wants to make sure that I'm always safe. And I appreciate that. I just want to go at least the speed limit. That's selfish of me, though, and that's my expectation because I drive fast.
I'd be like, 80.
You know what? I'm going to get me better friends. She said, I'm
untouching and not aggressive. You go untouched. I'll pull it back.
Look here. We do not take away prayers. We do not. I got a whole screenshot.
She said,
She
I'm
said
untouching.
I'm untouching. I'm done.
That is hilarious.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
He said, FYI, I do the speed limit.
Babe, you don't do the speed limit, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it. You know, I got my affirmation. I got folks untouching and disagreeing. You know, like so we hey, it's gonna get figured out. I got my affirmation. I'm gonna hang it up on the wall. You know, it's
Precious cargo
it's gonna
here.
work.
You should get a
It's
shirt.
gonna work out.
You should get a shirt, a bumper sticker, something that reminds you precious cargo. Precious cargo in the vehicle.
It's gonna work out. Okay, so we are at 8:10. We have 5 minutes, and we want to close this out. This went by fast. Illa said, "Got your back, Marcus."
Yeah, Illa is definitely a protector. Illa is definitely a protector.
That's dope, though. Like
Yes, I
I
love
can't
that.
even
Yes.
really complain about it, but I do. Like literally, we're in the car, and I'm like, "Babe, speed up, go around this car, blow your horn." Like I'm just like a Tasmanian devil in the car.
Me too.
I
am
am
too,
a
though.
Tasmanian devil in the car, and so that is
I really
my
am.
this is me telling my business and admitting that I'm working through that expectation. I need to stop expecting for him to drive like that because he cares about my safety, right? So I need to cut that shit out and get it together.
Yes.
Pull it together, kid.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's okay, Tara. You it's okay. You took it back because I'm getting it together. I'm put this affirmation up on the mirror. Every time I know he getting ready to drive.
I am precious cargo. You gotta repeat it.
I
I
am
am
precious cargo.
cargo. Precious cargo I am.
Oh, babe, I got a whole affirmation for you. We gonna work this thing out. Hey, he put his hashtag expectations. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
All right, y'all. We're about to close this thing out. We're gonna do a quick summary for you all. But if you're still here and you've loved the nuggets that we've dropped, this is your last opportunity to give us hashtag expectations. Let us know that you've been in the room. We're loving the hearts, the love, all of that. Thank you so much for your presence. Thank you so much for engaging with us. And so we started this podcast with a question. Are your expectations preventing partnership? That was the initial question that came up when we started. And Shamika came within 60 seconds. I asked the question. Here she comes, showing out. 60 seconds, dropping all the nuggets. So I'm going to repeat it because if you came late, you missed all these dropping of the nuggets, right? So I'm going to give it back to you because I'm like that. I'm nice like that. So she said it becomes a form of self-sabotage, right? Judgment of yourself, judgment of the other person. You end up victim blaming or becoming the victim, and then self-pity. Sheesh. I think you really came with the fire, okay? You dropped all the jewels, all the nuggets, and the bomb. Because I think it's important that we had this discussion, right? That we had this talk because, yes, sometimes our expectations are preventing us from a great partner. We say we want certain things, yet we're not really in alignment with the thing that's coming out of our mouth about what we want. We're not in that alignment. And so I think when Shamika, hit on these 4 things that come out of having those expectations, you form that self-sabotage. You begin to just sabotage any relationship that comes up because they're not meeting all of these, especially unrealistic expectations. And she says, when I asked the question, what are the benefits? And she says, do you even bring happiness to yourself? Do you even bring the things that you're requiring through your expectations of other people. Them the type of jewels she was dropping. And I ain't finna tell y'all everything, because if you wasn't here doing the whole time, now you got to go back and watch the entire video, either here on Facebook, YouTube, or wherever else we decide to post it. You know, we just sharing nuggets. That's all. We just here to share nuggets. Now, if you don't like us, that's okay. You can say that. If you love us, please say it. Please tell us. We like all the love. We like all the love. You can
All
continue
the
to put
love.
hashtag expectations if you come back and watch this in the replay, but we also ask that you use hashtag replay so we know that you have come back to watch the
Can I
replay.
get a replay?
Replay. And as Marcus has indicated in the comments section, we are on all the podcast platforms: Spotify, Anchor, Apple. We're on it all. So go out and be sure to tune in and support the podcast. And however you can, hit share it with your people. And we look forward to seeing you next time. And as always, Shamika will close us out.
With all of life comes to us with ease and joy and glory. What else is possible?
Yes. How does it get any better?
And how does it get any better than this?
Yes.
Yes.
And Illa has a closing comment. You must be open-minded enough to accept when someone thinks differently from you. Absolutely.